สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to SET Digital Roadshow with PTTEP for the third quarter of 2020. My name is Thanat, Investor Relations Manager, and with me today I have Kun Chanamat, our Senior Vice President from Finance Division. Good afternoon, Kun Chanamat.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you. For today's presentation, we will divide it into three parts. For the first part, we will update you with the latest update on the oil and gas industry, focusing on oil price and gas price. On the second part, we will also update you our operational highlights for the third quarter and also the latest project status. For the last part, I will present the finance performance for the third quarter, which we already released. So without further ado, may I request Kun Chanamat for the first and second part, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Thanat. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to PTTEP's third quarter financial result. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for today's session. For my session, I think I will go through a little bit on the industry outlook, talking about the oil price, gas price, and then update a little bit on our operation, key highlight on some of the key projects that are ongoing at the moment. And then Thanat will go to the deep details of financial performance. And I would like, just a little bit that be pleased to announce that the third quarter is quite a successful quarter of the year. We have achieved the more than 70% higher in terms of net income comparing to the last year. To the last quarter. And this is mainly because of both of the sales volume that have been increasing and also the improving on the price. So the key driver of the PTTEP performance in every quarters would be about the oil price and gas price, which I would like to share you a little bit of our company opinion on the oil price. The slide that you are looking at the moment is oil price outlook. As the graph on the left-hand side, you will see that you will see the trend of the improving in the oil price since the second quarter of this year, which is the lowest one that we got, and is improving quite some further to the 40 to 45 level, which the company still believe that in the fourth quarter, the oil price should be traded between 40 to 45. And it's going to be continue improving in terms of the demand supply in the market that will help improving the oil price as well. And the 2021, I think the company still believe that the oil price will stay, in the wide range of 40 to 50. A lot of key watch that we have to watch in the fourth quarter and the year after would be about the COVID-19 outbreak. As usual, there's going to be another second wave on some country, the third wave on the other country or not. The other one is about the economic recession, that how quickly the economic will be, recover, and it's highly dependent on the government of each country on the stimulus package. The watch on the OPEC Plus production, which is a very good news. That's why the oil price are picking up about the news on the OPEC Plus that they still continue to further cut the reduction as planned. The U.S. shale oil, shale gas, normally that's a swing production that's gonna be, the swing factor that's gonna affect to the oil price as well. The other one is already happened on the U.S. election, although the results is already come out, but we don't know that what's going to be in the U.S. after U.S. elections. So there were 4 or 5 key factors that will be impact on the oil price. But again, PTTEP will still believe that the oil price will gradually improving since the third quarter until the 2021. The next slide. The next slide, please. The next slide will cover on the gas price outlook. Since our majority of our port, about 70% of our port, still be in the gas. So the gas price will be some of the factor on the key performance of PTTEP as well, especially comparing to the LNG spot price that become to be very important factors as well. Why is important? Because the second quarter, if you aware of that, the LNG spot price have been traded very, very low. in the about $2 or $3 per per MMBTU, and that's become the concern of investor, that whether the Thai government will be imported more and more LNG, and that's going to be replacing the gas from the Gulf of Thailand, where that we are the major producer who supply the gas from the Gulf of Thailand. And good enough that after the second quarter, you will see the trend on the graph in the left-hand side as well. You will see that there was improving in the LNG spot price because of the demand supply in the market that made the LNG spot price improving from $2 or $3 per MMBTU up to $7 per MMBTU lately. And that's become less concern on the supply on the Gulf of Thailand gas supply, because we are gradually see that PTT already improving on the taking our gas from the Gulf of Thailand, higher increasing on the volume if you compare to the second quarter, and this is mainly reflecting to our sales volume in the third quarter that have been tremendous increasing from the second quarter as well. And we believe that it's going to be continuous in the fourth quarter as well. And that we think that our sales volume in fourth quarter will be gradually increasing from the third quarter as well. On the right-hand side, you will see that the Thailand demand and supply on the gas, especially for demand side, have been improving, and there was a growth in demand continue until the 2030. You will see the increasing in demand on the red lines that showing the demand of gas of Thailand. And if you look at the supply side, you will see the gas supply from the Thailand itself. I mean, this graph will try to show you that our gas supply from the Gulf of Thailand, mainly majority of it will be supplied to the GSP, who's the gasification plant. So there was some secure certain supply on the Gulf of Thailand that will supply directly to the gasification plant. The gap between that on the demand will be filling up by the supply of Myanmar, which we hold some of the interest in some of the project in Myanmar as well. And along with the LNG that will become to filling the gap of the demand. You will see that in the future, I think for the Thailand itself, we have a very strong demand on LNG going forward. And this is more like a strategy of the PTTEP that will aim to be in the LNG value chains as well. This more that we'll see that there's going to be a positive opportunities for the PTTEP to expand the business into the LNG, just to capture the gap of the demand of Thailand. The next slide, please. Once you know that the oil price and gas price have been positive, and we think it's going to be positive, continue to 2021 as well. Let me capture a little bit on the operation highlight on the key main project that have been ongoing, or something that investor will be interested, especially for the G1 and G2. The ongoing activities is quite good and it's going very well as planned. For the G1 we are still ready to assess the site for installation, the facility as planned. But for G2 is still on track as well. And I think the G2 is Bongkot, right?
Yes.
Okay. The Bongkot, I'm confused with G1 and G2. G2 is a Bongkot project where we are operator at the moment. So there was no concerns on the assets of the area itself. So I think the transition have been very smooth, as we already planned for the drilling and the facility planning. I think we can get ready for startup as that we commit to the government. For the G1, a lot of people will heard from the news that we have some difficult to access the area. With the existing operators such as Chevron, we're still in a negotiation on the agreement, and we hopefully that we can conclude the agreement by as fast as we can, as soon as possible. And that's for the G1 and G2. I think we are still committed as planned, and we're ready to supply the gas when the concession will be in 2022 and 23. Another key project of the gas to power, we have been talking about the gas to power to Myanmar, and we're still waiting for the government approval. There was one key milestone that we already achieved on the third quarter, that we have been approved that by some, like I would say, like a sub-investment committee of the Myanmar. That's going to be another key milestone. And right now, the project was in the hand of the Myanmar government to be a final endorse, to get the notice to proceed. And this is quite an achievement for the key milestone, and hopefully that the Myanmar government will be approved, that the final approval by the end of the year. The other project that's talking about is about the Malaysia projects, the Sabah Edge. I think last quarter we have been talking a lot about the Sabah Edge, that we think that we're going to have a startup to production, first startup production in the early of the day, by the end of the third quarters. But unfortunately, when we do a commissioning, there was a little bit of technical difficulties on that, on the subsea. Not the gas leaking, but it's just a technical failure on the subsea. So we have to take a look at it, and we'll do some of the repairing. I will take a little bit of time, but we do believe that we could, the startup date will be shifted a little bit to the early of next year. And that would be the first production will coming on at least the end of the first quarter, or the early of the second quarters. That's for Sabah Edge. The gas of the Sabah Edge will contribute to PTTEP portfolio next year, about 20,000. That's a whole year for 20,000 million cubic feet per day. But to pro rata, probably 2021 will be add up about 70 to 8,000 million cubic feet per day. That's for Sabah Edge updated. For the exploration, for the Langlaba, the one that we have found a big discovery last year, if you remember that, the project have been in a good progress. We have spun the one appraisal well, just to will endorse that how big the reserve is. Along with it, we have been developed the what we call like a field development plan in order to be able to ready to FID by another 2 or 3 years from now. For the other project that we have been pleased and announced in the MD&A on the financial results, Algeria Hasselberg gas. If you remember, we have 2 projects in Algeria. One is already in production. That's called Algeria, the Bersaba. That already produced, the oil. The maximum capacity on that project is about 20,000 barrel per day. The Hasselberg gas is ongoing project. It have been in a development phase, and we have been taken over the additional stake, another 24.5% from CNOOC, who's have been focused on that. There is some kind of a strategy that they try to focus more in offshore of China. So they move out from the Algeria, and then we have taken the stake from them, another 24.5. So in total, we own about 45% on the Hasselberg gas. And this project is on progress, is very well. I think it's going to be a startup by 2012, the second half of 2021, with the early production about 10,000 barrel per day. And it will be keep increasing for the phase 2. They have a maximum capacity up to 50,000. That is a Algeria Hasselberg gas. So this is more like a 4 key project that's ongoing at the moment. And if we have any news updated, we're going to update you more on the next session. Yeah. The next page, actually, this is more like to clarify. I believe that last quarter we're talking about we announced the new aspiration, that what we would like to foresee for PTTEP in 2030, and one of them is about the unit cost. that we have announced aspiration, the cost that we try to reduce to $25 per barrel. Current unit cost, as we guide that 2020, we guide that the unit cost will be around, plus or minus 30, and we try to reduce to 25 by 2030. A lot of questions that how you going to do that, 30 to 25. So this more like a page that try to qualify it. If you look at the right-hand side, you will see that we try to come up with the cost element that that we have been driving. That there was a 4 cost element to be, comprised into the unit cost. One is the major is about the drilling well. 40% is the cost that doing like a well drilling and all that. The second one is how to the construction of wellhead platform, and the 15% will be more focused on the logistic, and the other will be 25% about insurance and all the other administration. So we focus on the 3 key, area for the cost element. If we can reduce all those costs in each element, that would be the major reduction on the unit cost. So how we do that? For the one that, there was some angle that I would like to clarify that there was some certain benefit on the PSC. You'll remember the G1 and G2. At the moment, is based on the concession. After 22 or 23, it's gonna move from concession to the production sharing contract. And with the terms and conditions in PSC, there was some benefit on that. First of all, when we move to PPSC, the existing facility, some of the facility that already, in production at the moment can be carried activities to the PSC to after the 22 or 23 as well. So we can use the existing facility. We don't have to invest the high capex. So those kind of the capex that can reduce the DD&A or the depreciations, which is the majority of the unit cost, as you may aware of. So this part will be, up roughly about 20% reduction on the DD&A. If you compare before and after on that. The other area will be about the cost optimization. That's going to be permanent as well. The first on the cost optimization is about doing well. We will try to implement the new concept on what we call factoring during implementations, the during program, which means that we try to do fast and when you do fast and you use new technologies, you can reduce about the 8% of the cost. The second one about the wellhead platform that we try to implement about the standardized design, as well as the contracting strategy that we can do, try to implement, for the procurement and all that. But like about program, that when you sign a contract about the bigger, many wellheads, you can get a reduction on the cost size, and that's about 3% on that. The last one, and very important, and then direct impact to the OPEX, the operating expenses, about the logistic. That we do so many things about the cost optimization on the logistic side, like the vessel, helicopters, base. And when we are operating more than 1 or 2 projects in the Gulf of Thailand, we can optimize on the logistic side. We can sharing the pooling concept of the helicopter and that, and then that will synergize on that. That's more than 12% of the cost side on the logistics. And and that's combining about the cost optimization, the benefit of PSC before and after. That will comprising that why we do believe that we could reduce from 30 to 25, and that's more or less on the qualification of unit cost of 25. More or less is my part, and so Putanat will go for you on the third quarter for financial performance.
Thank you, Khun Chanamat. For the financial performance of the Q3 2020, as you may aware, net income, we actually posted increase of 72% in net income for the third quarter compared with the second quarter at 220 billion US dollar. This is largely came from the volume pick up from the demand from the Gulf of Thailand compared to the previous quarter, and also improve in the average selling price. As you see that the oil price has also improved as well. On the year-to-date 9 months 2020, we actually have a lower volume from the Gulf of Thailand, but that is compensated by the acquisition of Murphy and Patex from last year. And so lastly, the main factor that driven down the net income for year-to-date 2020 is a price effect, which reduced about 15%. So that pushed down our net income by 46% to 639 million US dollars. And if we move on to the next slide, on our key financial performance, as you can see that our sales volume, as I described, we actually post a slight increase in the volume of 3%, mainly from the acquisition of Malaysia asset and Patex, offset by some of the lower gas volume from Gulf of Thailand, mainly in Mongkut. And on the average selling price, so you can see that the gas price reduced a bit following the reduction of the oil price. And also our liquid price also follow the Dubai price that decreased as well. So that's put down our average selling price by about 15%. Nevertheless, our unit cost, we still can maintain a competitive unit cost as 30. And we also be able to reduce our cash cost from 15 to about 14. All right. We still maintain our EBITDA margin at 71%, and our cash flow is quite strong as well. We have started the year with about 3 billion US dollar and ending in the September at about 3.5 billion US dollar. That's been the positive operating cash flow more than 2 billion and the free cash flow more than 1.2 billion as well. On the capital structure side, the asset doesn't move much from last period, and our debt also not move much as well. Our D ratio is still within the range, below 0.5, so we end up the third quarter at 0.33 D ratio, and our debt portfolio remains 100% US dollar. We also did some financial liability management, so that reduced our cost of debt from 4.4 to 3.5, and our average loan life also extended from 13.5 to 14.3 years as well. On the guidance for the whole year 2020, so we still expect our volume to be around 250k BOED, slight decrease from our last guidance due to the delay of the Sabah H project. The average gas price would reduce a little following the oil price reduction in the early of this year, so that would be around 6.3 for the whole year. We still expect to maintain our unit cost at 30, and also our EBITDA and margin in the range of 65 to 70% as well. Okay, so that is for the presentation for today. So I think we can take any questions that you may have.
There is any questions?
So the first question is about does US election impacts on oil price?
Yeah, the questions on does the US elections will be impacted to the oil price. As I said earlier, that there's a lot about the key watch of the US election as well. It's highly, a lot of people, debatable on the policy of the Biden versus the Trump. So it's like a before and after policy, especially in terms of the greenhouse, the greenhouse, that whether the Biden will be pro on the the fossil fuel or not. And because the policy have been a lot of impact, that whether they're gonna encourage the people to do a U.S. shale gas.
Yes, I think there's some news about Trump being favorable on the fossil fuels, while Biden would be, tend to be more on the clean energy.
Right. That's why we have to watch that whether the policy will be driven the oil price or not. I mean, if there was more on the fossil fuel, like a Trump, I think the oil price will be more favorable on the Biden. But we have to watch on that.
On the second question is about the COVID-19 pandemic, whether it's still affecting on the business in 2021.
That's why I think it's the pandemic itself is gradually improving in many of the countries, and I think we heard a lot of good news on the vaccine.
Yes.
But the key question is vaccine will be used for the worldwide when the vaccine will be usable, and that will be impact more the economic sides. And once if there was a faster in the vaccine, the economy will be faster recover, and that's just going to be help support on the oil industry. So the economic pick it up, the demand on the oil side will be picked up as well. So I believe that this is going to be a positive for the oil price in the next 2021.
Okay. The next question is popular questions on the M&A going forward.
We always look for the opportunities since that Kuntanat just captured how strong the capital structure we are. Our debt still debt headroom since debt equity ratio is only 0.3. We have policy to not exceed to 0.5. So we have another 1.5 to 2 billions on the debt headroom. Plus, we have a cash about the 3 billions. So we still have enough cash to support the opportunities. But again, any new M&A will be highly focused on the strategic area that we are seeing that the Southeast Asia, the Middle East, which is how we are focused only for 2 countries, the UAE and Oman, will be the particular key area. And if there's opportunities that fit into the strategy, I think we are more open up for the opportunities.
Okay, and the next question is about sustainability plans in long term.
Okay, the SD we are become a very important issues nowadays. I think in the third quarter we haven't covered up the strategy since we have already talking a lot on the second quarters. Just a little bit on the SD part. PTTEP have focused on the 3 key pillars, which we call HPO, the high performance organizations, the GRC, the governance and risk management and compliance, and the last area would be the SBC, the share value creators. The HPO will be highly focused on the low cost and try to get in the top quartiles in terms of the low cost to be in the top quartile the operators in the industry. That's more toward the HPO, highly concentrated in operation area. The growth that we already announced, that we have aspiration to have a growth rate, the CAGR up to 5% toward the year 2030. That's the target for the HPO. The other area about the GRC, we try to be a top quartiles and to be the good name in terms of the compliance and the good citizen on that. The last one is the SVC. We focus on the 3 key areas, which is the greenhouse reduction, the gas reduction. This one we have a target that by 2030 we would like to see at least a 25% see the greenhouse reduction by 25%, toward the year 2030. The other area is about the circular model for E&P. That's talking about that not left the zero waste in the landfill. So meaning about the project such as the topside reuse, the topside reuse, and the new design of to make all the facility reusable. The other part that the last part of the SVC will highly focus on the Ocean for Life, what we call Ocean for Life, as it's kind of like the project related improving the biodiversities and the local wealth, meaning local people in our operating area will have more wealth in that size. And this is more specific on the SVC. So on the SD side, I think PTTEP is still highly focused on 3 key pillars as I elaborate on that.
Okay. Next one we have what will be the growth driver for company next year if COVID-19 still continuing?
The COVID-19 haven't affected in our ongoing operation at the moment. So the growth driver would be on the growth side. We believe that we still foresee the improving in our production volumes next year. But how it's going to be improving, we're going to announce the 5-year plan by the end by early December. You will see our 5-year new guidance on the sales volume. The other key things about the low cost that we try to bring further down. We believe that we have a guidance that this year about the plus or minus 30. We try to achieve lower than 30 by the next year to see that that's about the low cost. So in terms of the key driver would be about the production volumes and try to maintain the cost.
Yeah. I think we're also looking at the new M&A in case there is anything interesting, and we're also looking at those assets that are favorable and matched to our portfolio as well.
Okay, so there was some good positive looking for PTTEP for next year, regardless of the COVID-19.
Yes, I think the next question is about Algeria, why we invest.
As I say that Algeria, we already have the 2 projects on that. And there was opportunity that because the project itself is going to be start up by the 2021
yes.
At the 10,000 is more or less in a very late of development the development phase.
And I think the current scheme that we have in Algeria is favorable as well. So that's why when Sinuk took the opportunity to leave this, so we think it's a good move for us to increase the stake.
Yes.
Next question. What's your oil price outlook for the upcoming OPEC meeting?
As I said earlier, I think we still have a for this year, for the fourth quarter, the rest of the year, we're still moving in a range of 40-45. For next year, we believe in a wide range of $40 to $50 per barrel. That's what the company are perceiving.
Yes, and I think from the news, it seemed that OPEC would continue the production cuts until the early next year. So that is also the positive factor for us as well.
Yes.
Do you target of the first gas on 2024? Which project?
I think
this may be addressed to Mozambique project.
Okay, because the question about the target of first gas, that's 24, and I think this is a right year that our most big project will be start the first cargo of the LNG. Yes, we still be on track and on plan, and since Total is operator, and Total is a very good operator in LNG, very well reputation on that, and I believe the project will be on track.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's all for the questions for today, and we have spent good amount of time for the Q&A already. Oh, there's one more questions. How about your dividend policy?
Exactly written in the policy itself, the dividend policy is not less than 30% of the net income. Yeah. But what we have been paid in the past, I believe that is always about 40 to 50%. And this year we'll see a lot of factors we have to take in about the new opportunities, about the cash flow, about the investment in the future, that whether how the dividend will be coming up. There's a lot of factors to be counted on.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that is all for the questions. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being us today.
Stay safe. Goodbye.
Bye.